Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video, and this time we have Peju versus T-Curves, and this is going to be another Funky Friday video, and this is a series where on Fridays I post some funky decks, and let's hop right into it. So, we are going to go ahead and see PJ go ahead and win the rock, paper, scissors, shoot, and they're going to go first, 42 versus 40. Opening hands, we have Super Quantum Green Layer, Super Quantum White Layer, Blue Layer, Ash, and Droplet. So they are going first here. If they were going second, they still have multiple going second cards. I am going to have to read over these in a second since it's been so long since I've read them. And then they have Ash, Imperm, Doshin, Fire, and Island. So they also have two going second cards. And if they were going first, it would have opened up combos. So reading Green Layer. This card says when it's normal summon or special summon, you can special summon a Super Quantum from your hand. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can discard a Super Quantum card and then draw one. White Layer says you can send a non-light Super Quantum from your hand or face up on the field to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand in defense. When this card is normal summon or special summon, you can send a Super Quant monster from your deck to the graveyard. And if you do, this card's attribute and level becomes the same as that monster's. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Super Quantum Fairy Alphalan from your deck or graveyard to the hand. And that Super Quantum Fairy Alphalan is like the best card of the deck. I do remember that. And then Blue Layer. When this card is normal summon or special summon, you can add a Super Quant card from your deck to the hand except for itself. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target up to 3 Super Quants in your graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck, and it can target itself. I remember when Monarchs at one point were playing a Blue Layer and then some E-Tellies. So we're going to go ahead and see the normal summon effect, and then they're going to chain Imperm to stop the special summoning, set Droplet, and pass. So they're not going to go ahead and try to use this or anything. I guess maybe they just don't have anything even if they activate this. Pass, draw Fire. Then they're going to start off by normal summoning, effect, chain Ash Blossom to stop that. And then go for Dark Infant effect. This will resolve, so go ahead and search out Island. Then activate Island effect, special summon out from the hand, summon out Fire. And then turn those into a Cyber's Wicked. And then Island effect, summon out the Doshin, and then activate Cyber's Wicked, and then that's going to banish. They're going to let this resolve, so go search, grab the Wind, and then slap those away, go for Transcode Talker, and then Transcode effect, the special summon back out from the graveyard, bring out the Cyber's Wicked, and then slap those into Access Code, and then Access Code effect, Gang Attack, and then on resolution, Droplet, that's going to get rid of the White Layer to negate this. And then they're going to get the White Layer effect, and I'll go ahead and try to dump, but they're going to Ash Blossom to negate that. And Island summon out Wind. Also, this should just be at 23. I don't know why it has counters on it. Summon, well, not 23, but it should be at whatever half of 53 is. So what, like 2650? Yeah, it should be at 2650 right now. So summon out Wind, effect, dump the DeanOOR, and then they're going to get rid of those to go for Splash Mage effect, special summon out from the graveyard, and then that's going to summon out the Wind, and then get rid of those to go for Fire Phoenix. Okay, battle phase, attack, and then they can activate this effect, and that's going to inflict damage to your opponent equal to this card's attack. They're not going to take any damage from this battle, but, 23 damage is more than 700 there. So you definitely want to go ahead and activate that. And then go ahead and pass turn. Draws Reborn. So go main phase, activate Reborn, and then that's going to summon out the White Layer effect to go dump. And then that's going to go dump White Layer, and then White Layer effect, that's going to go add the Fairy Alphalan, and then normal summon, his graveyard effect. Asking if the graveyard effect is okay. Do I know the card in hand? They do not. This isn't an interruption right now. If you read this, it says, if this card is destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy one monster your opponent controls. During the next standby phase, after this Link Summon card was destroyed and sent to the graveyard, special summon this card from the graveyard. So an interaction with this card that a lot of people forget is that Fire in the Graveyard says at the start step, Alright, at the start of the damage step, when your Siggers monster battles, you can banish this card from the graveyard, destroy that monster you control. So if they just like attack this without thinking about the fire effect, then they can go ahead and pop something. So that might come up, but they're going to summon out Alphalan, and this is just the best card. They're going to go ahead and tribute, reveal 3 super... What? You can target 1 super quantum monster you control. All face-up monsters currently become that monster's level. Alright. Fair enough. The only effect I remembered was that you could tribute it to reveal 3 super quantum monsters from your decks with different names, and your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon, and the rest go to graveyard. I just remember that being like super good, but they're going to go ahead and summon out Luster Rex. I actually haven't seen this card. Takes 2 level 7 monsters, so it's generic. Can't attack unless it has a material. Once per turn, you can attach a material from this card. Target 1 effect monster on the field. Negate that monster's effects until the end of the turn. Then it says this is a quick effect if it has a super quantum white layer as a material. Once per turn, you can attach a super quantum from your hand or the field to this. Okay, so it's kind of just like the other ones. Oh, they don't know. I was going to say the opponent doesn't know this interaction, but they just don't know this interaction. Yeah, it's definitely something that you want to know, because they could have just went ahead and outed this there, and that would have been huge, because the effect of dump is only once per turn, so they wouldn't have had anything. So this would have just been a horrible play, which means activating the effect of tribute was the right play, assuming that the opponent knew what their deck did. Go for Zeus, pass, draw Nib. Yeah, Fire will go ahead and summon itself out. Now that admit defeat. Oh my gosh, like, I'm not gonna say they had this game in the bag, but like, come on now, they had such a, I don't know, like, they were not in like a bad spot. Like, if they just played right, they could have even went battle phase, attack. The opponent's not gonna Zeus. And then, obviously, they just don't know this card has an effect, though. It's so unfortunate. This card is, like, super good with fire. There's a reason why this one's fire and this one's fire. It's because they work with each other. And then, also, it's, like, also, like, the wind works with the wind. You know, they're both winds. But this card also came up a lot against Zeus. So, like, it's definitely something that you should know. Going on to the next game, we are going to see the at Ignister player decide to go first. Opening hands, we have Ash, Blue Lair, Diviner. Okay. I actually didn't catch. Was that White Lair a fairy? I know the Alphalan is. Talents and Nib. So they do have 3 going second cards here. They have Silent Mining, Imperm, Fire, Talents, and Nib. So they're going to start off with normal summon out Fire effect. They're going to let it resolve, so go search, grab the Pikachu, and then link away, Dark Infant effect, try to grab Field Spell, Chain Ash, activate Talents to look at hand, and they're going to hit Nib there. Then Silent Mining, discard. Okay, go grab Doshin. Doshin effect, summon itself out. Not sure what they're going for here. Get rid of those. Go for Cyber's Wicked. Like, I just don't know any. Like, what was your goal there? Cyber's Wicked pass when you have Nib in hand? Like, at that point, you just simply leave these in hand, and you're like, okay, next turn I play, I have Nib Imperm. That's decent. I have good follow-ups. But they're like, hold up, let me summon Cyber's Wicked, and when I drop Nib, next turn I have no plays. Big brain, big brain. Draw Diviner. Okay, I want to see what this Diviner does. Summon effect. They're going to chain Imperm on it. Okay, so looks like we're not going to find out what it does. They draw a pointer. So draws nothing to play with there. They really needed something. They're going to go ahead and attack over Diviner. Set a pointer pass. Draws called by. Then activate a pointer, revealing Nib, and then this is going to go ahead and hit the blue layer. Okay, so now we can see what Diviner does. summon effect, and then they're gonna go dump the Terrace. Okay, this actually, it contributes to summon itself out, but that's it. Okay, but I guess, oh, they're gonna get Diviner effect. Okay, and that can go ahead and summon out the Alpha. Okay, so activate Diviner, and then that's gonna bring out the Alpha. Okay, and then Alpha effect, Tribute. And then they're gonna reveal blue, red, white. So they're gonna go ahead and special summon out white, and the other two are gonna go to graveyard. And then they're going to get, they can get red layer effect here to special summon back. They can get white layer effect to go ahead and dump. Only activating white. White go dump, and then effect to go search. Then that's going to go search out the fairy. Oh. Well, they summoned Diviner, Terrace, white layer. Like, they know Nib's in hand because they revealed it. So why not red summon out blue? I don't know, I feel like that's decent. I just can summon out any super quantum or super quant monsters, so they could summon out a fairy alphan, you know, just put something on board. Maybe even just summon out, oh no, you wouldn't be able to summon this out because that got dumped. Yeah, after that would have activated, but go ahead and attack. This can't be destroyed by battle. And then set called bypass, draw Veiler, still draws nothing. You know what's funny? Because they're probably like, man, I got so unlucky. Also, this should have went back to hand because of a pointer. But like, oh gosh. They could have had a chance to like 2-0 their opponent and they lost 0-2. Like, there's always so many players that are like, not so great at the game. And they're like, man, these players at top all the time, they just stack because there's no way you can draw good enough. And then you watch their games and they play like this, and it's like, well, yeah, if you play like that, like, of course it's going to be hard to consistently top or even top at all. But, like, I don't know, like, the skill, like, outplays luck, right? Sometimes you just get, like, extremely unlucky and you have an unplayable hand, you just lose no matter how good you are. Your hand is just unplayable and you're gonna fold there. But yeah, skill is definitely something in this game, for sure. I always hear people talk about how, like, dice roll decides who wins and not. Some matchups it does, like, a Drytron mirror can be extremely hard if you and your opponent are both playing, like, no hand traps. Then yes, it's going to be extremely hard. That's why I personally like playing hand traps in my decks, especially even if they're just like low impact hand traps that like aren't going to completely stop the opponent. It makes us that way game 2 and 3 when I side into more hand traps. I can like have a higher chance of seeing a hand trap. Yeah, but that was a very quick match. It was only 16 minutes long. GG's. Once I knew Nib was in hand, I kind of figured I won. Called by would hit. The normal summon, you should have banished called by actually. They should have played it way different. True, wasn't sure what your deck did, so I thought, what does one Diviner do? Tragic. Yeah, Diviner gets Alpha, which gets super quants. To be honest, you should have, it would have been better to not activate a pointer and let me walk into Nib. Although talents is kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they didn't know they had talents. Still, though, they definitely threw that. Unfortunate, but it's kind of like they're in like funky Fridays. It's not like super high rated people playing funky decks, unfortunately. Maybe in the future we'll get like higher rated players playing some funky decks that I can go over, so that way we can get some like better gameplay. Because right here, I mean, it wasn't even like Super Quantums versus Adignister. It was like Adignister versus themselves. Because like they just didn't know what they were doing. But with that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace. Have a nice day. Stay safe. There's going to be another Funky Friday going up later today.